This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977. But since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. Eluding the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here, 1st and 10. Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. Now on 2nd and 13. Dalton into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Geno Atkins, the Pro Bowler, in there on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
On 3rd down, Carson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, though, if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Y'all playing the wrong football.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. He's got a man on the crossing route. That's Moore. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. David Moore, 34 yards. yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter.
Everybody likes to see the long ball thrown, but when you throw it underneath and you see someone catch the ball, secure it, make their moves, and then turn it into bigger plays, that's a lot of fun to watch as well.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. Oh, he shifts past him. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Check, walk 54, walk 54. You can't block me. You can't block me.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And able to find Green. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Green last year had the lowest numbers of his career output-wise, 694 yards, 6 touchdowns. But, of course, there was a reason for that. He was battling a toe injury the second half of the season. And, boy, did the Bengals miss his presence. They limped to the finish line, losing 7 of their last 8. They are happy to have him back and healthy. Mixon with a first down carry. The tackle made by K.J. Wright.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Here's Carson. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, You've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
On 2nd and 12, Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got his target. That's Moore. 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. David Moore with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. Shifts by him.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. On 2nd down now, Nixon. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Watch the run.
On 3rd down, Dalton. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
Well, this This is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
On first down, it's Carson. Man, not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. He gives it up, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. Alert. 90 is the mic. I'm on. Booker team. Shit.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 40-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine a head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there.
And a Bengal first down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
You better be afraid of me. You better. Hey. Watch twist.
Nixon will try the right side. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
The Bengals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. So Dalton now. He's got his man here. It's Green. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 38-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. Nixon fights through him. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now Joe Mixon. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20.
Well, not a huge game there as we head towards the 2-minute warning. It'll be interesting to me to see what they decide to do after the timeout.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6. Dalton bootlegs out. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge, incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Mixon. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
To throw on 3rd down, Dalton. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And that is no good. He pulled it just a bit, just a wee bit wide left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On 3rd down, Wilson. Looking for the tight end, Olsen, and it's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing again. Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Here we go. Here we go.
A gain of 12. First down.
Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
On 1st down, Mixon. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And Dalton to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. The final act of the first half. Dalton. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross. As time expires in the first half, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Bullock good on the extra point. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for him. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other bats in the league.
Dalton's throw on target to Tyler Boyd. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Open man is Ross, complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 27. They'll run here with Mixon. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. On 2nd and 2, Dalton. And almost intercepted. If he could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Down here in the 3rd quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, and one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot. Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Wilson. He's got Lockett. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. Well, let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They did.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Ready? Ready? You got double time. Double time.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And down inside the 15 he goes. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Double time. Double time. 4 down.
They run it with Carson. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Let him know. Let him know.
Second and 5 now. Wilson. Nick Perry comes flying in for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here.
Switch up. Switch up.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. First and 10 at their own 23. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that's complete. It's Green here. And he makes it all the way down to the 31. A big play. Dalton to his favorite receiver, Green. 46 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That good for 19 and a 1st down. Now Mixon. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Now on 2nd and 13. Dalton, he's going to be sacked. Back at the 23-yard line. Chandler Jones just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard
line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Well, they'll try the sweep. It's Lockett with it. And able to find a little space. He gets this up over the 15 to the 16. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Makes it 3rd and 7.
Waiting. 57 to Mike. Go 14. 36 power. Check 24.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Going deep for Hopkins. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Coverage there by the former 1st-round pick, William Jackson. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the 1st quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
49-yard line.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Caught by Allen. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Now Dalton. And my goodness, another interception. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. Allen, the intended receiver. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
We got 4.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. It's complete to Hopkins. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to it. 11 yards there and a 1st down for Seattle. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
What's that? 18. 90 is a mic. I'm here.
From the gun, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson with a little how do you do as he gets in there for the sack. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back.
Hey, 4 down. Tight dog. 14.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bengals drive about to get going. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up second. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
The extra point now coming from Myers. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, we were having a tough patch. This too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And here's a throw taken in by Boyd. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. The first down throw coming for Dalton. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Byron Murphy, the rookie from Washington. And nothing but daylight ahead. He's at the 40, 20, 10, 5, and he takes it all the way back. It's a pick two, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. On the tackle, it's Trey Waynes.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
Now it's Carson. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. So the victory here for Seattle. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week one.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to